Hello, board game family. Welcome to Game Brigade. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be diving into an interesting unboxing. This is not something I probably would have normally unboxed in the channel, but it's something that I wanted to share with you guys, especially since it's something that I'm trying to dive into more. I picked this up from our local comic book coffee shop, and I went there to buy coffee, actually. Turns out our coffee shop, our comic book store has very good coffee. So I went there to buy coffee, and I found this. They have a super small board game, like Magic the Gathering board game and D&D section, just really small. And I saw this sitting there. And this is a deluxe edition of the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. And when I was looking on the back, it also says it has a board game in it. So I thought, why not crack it open and see what the heck's inside of it? Because I'm wanting to get more into D&D. The D&D movie just came out, which is also kind of cool. And I thought maybe this might be something interesting that any of you guys would like to watch. So let's take a look at the Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen Deluxe Edition. Now, ooh, dang, I was hoping that would be like a really smooth tear. It wasn't. I do have a close-up camera. If we need to do some close-up shots, we'll bring that over. But I am just ruining this box. This is really, this perforated tear thing is just not working. I don't want to tear the box up more. That is so unfortunate that it's doing this. All right, mark it in the review. Terrible experience unboxing the product. It's just tearing up the box. Okay, and that's unfortunate. All right, let's see what's inside. I'm hoping I don't need to keep the box, so that's the thing. We'll see. So the first thing we're gonna do is let's pull out what this is. What is this? So this says Warriors of Krynn, Dungeons and Dragons, game design by Rob Daviau and Stephen Baker. Is this an actual board game? It looks like a board game. Dragonlance Warriors of Krynn is a cooperative game of adventure and strategy where you play heroes and battle against a terrifying dragon army as conflict rages around you. Maneuver between battlefields and adventure locations to tip the scale of war. Okay, I mean, this looks like a board game. I have never heard of this game. I mean, does this only come in the deluxe edition of this box? What am I buying? What is going on? What is this? Okay, so we have some punch. Oh, I didn't mean to punch that. Dang. So it's got different types of dragons. And I wonder if no, I'm not sure what that is. We have Draconians, Wyverns, Wyvern or Wyvern? I don't know. I know that's a word, but my brain right now cannot remember how to pronounce it. I have to go back to my Witcher days. We have Death Dragons and Red Dragons. The quality of the cardboard is very, very poor. Like these tokens are very thin, very, very thin cardboard. And that's almost interesting because, obviously we unbox a lot of Kickstarter product here on the channel, which has deluxified components. And sometimes you forget how things, normally are when you look at it. So these are some locations. So we have like Ancient Monolith, a Command Tent. So here's some locations. I did not think when I opened this up that this was an actual board game. These are some cards. These are some characters. Oh, weird. The art for the characters is very interesting. If you can see that, I want to get it out of the... these are hero boards. I can't get over how thin the paper product is. It's so thin. Okay, and then we have... that's in there for some reason. Here's a scenario book. The question is, will I ever play this game? That's the question. I bought this for the D&D book, not for a board game, but I was told this has a board game, so I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll do it for the channel. See how it comes out. So you got a bunch of stuff in here. This does have an insert, which is interesting. You have some minis. We got some minis. So let's pull up the close-up camera, get this all prepped and ready to go. And let's get that going and check out some of these minis. So one of the things is, like, if I was going to play this as a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, the minis are nice because you can add them for the players. So this looks like a monk of some sort. It's interesting that they're like the pre-wash on them. It's a little interesting. This guy is very much in here. I don't want to break him. Come on, my guy. Okay. This is, looks like a dragon knight. He's got his horns up here. Details not so bad. Very soft plastic on his sword. Okay. What else we got? Looks like a Frodo Baggins here. They definitely have a wash. I mean, it makes it so you're like hesitant to want to paint them because of the wash. But the wash does give you, this is a very good example of how much a simple wash can bring out details in a mini. I always tell people, you know, a wash can do so much for you. Here's a little archer. Nice, got a little recurved bow there. Cool. All right, so we have minis. What else do we have in here? A bunch of different cards. Event cards. This says start here. When you're ready to play, it's almost like a legacy game. It says open here when you're ready to play your first game. Do not open these cards unless you're about to begin a legendary tier scenario. Do not open these cards unless you're about to begin a veteran tier scenario. Weird. And then what do we got in here? We have some dice. Just plastic tokens. More just plastic tokens. Yeah, you can get I mean, I don't want to open them, but just a bunch of plastic tokens. I mean, that's it. Is there anything hidden? No, but they have supports. They have some supports, and that's it. Wow. So that's the Warriors of Krynn board game found in. Can you buy this on your own? That's a question. I'm gonna have to check online. I'm curious if you could buy this game by itself, or is this exclusive to this deluxe box? That's a good question. And my other question is it any good? Is this a good game, or is this an afterthought game? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. All I know is that its paper is some of the thinnest paper I've ever seen. So let's check out the rule book. So it has a scenario book. Talks about running a scenario, introduction, the return of the Dragon Queen, running the scenarios. Okay. And then the rule book. Let's see what we got here with the rule book. So we have a table of contents, has the scenario entries. Looks like it goes to 13 pages. No, it doesn't. It lies. Because it definitely goes way further. And what do we got back here? I'm not sure what these are. What are these numbers? They almost look like entries. Scenario entries. So that it goes from 13 on is scenario. I was going to say, it looks like entries. So these are scenario entries. Talks about the different tiers of play. I mean, this is a fully fleshed game. It doesn't have the best looking rule book. It's definitely a lot of freaking text that you're just going to have to sit down and read. So I'll dive into that later. This is definitely low priority for me in terms of all the games I have to play. And I didn't expect to get a board game. I mean, I expected it, but was like, I don't know. my research into this was literally while drinking my coffee. Oh, that looks cool. So literally the amount of research I did into this. I asked the guy at the counter, what do you know about this? And he had no clue. I mean, he's just an employee, so he didn't order it. So let's throw that in there. And then, so this is actually what I was looking for. This looks like a DM screen. I don't really need any DM screens. I have a custom one from Wormwood. So, but what I always look for is, like, does it have information for the DM if you're running a campaign? Is there anything on here, or is it just a sheet? Like, what do they have in here? I'm always curious. So let's open her up. Okay, so it looks like you have stuff that's good for this game. That's great. And what's interesting is you can always put these inside my custom DM screen if I need it. So if I decide to play this game, I could do that. You have all the conditions, which is pretty normal. Audible distance, visibility, great. Yeah, it looks good. It's a good little DM screen. And I actually like, dragons are one of my favorite mythical creatures, although were they mythical? That's a good question. I'm not so sure. And it also has a foil limited edition. This is a limited art edition book. Now that is something I do know about this because I was looking at that when I was referring to it. It says Shadow of the Dragon Queen with an exclusive foil cover. So this is only found inside this box. Now they did have this same book if I wanted to just buy the book available, but then you don't get the minis and you don't get the board game if you bought just the book. And the book was a deluxe version and it was $60 by itself. So this one was an expensive purchase. We'll see how good it was. It is by Wizards of the Coast, right? Yeah. I mean, Wizards of the Coast makes Magic the Gathering, so hopefully they made a good game here. Let's take a look inside this book. I like collecting D&D books. I like scenario books. I think they're fun. So yeah. Obviously for this unboxing video, we're not going to sit here and just read the book, but like this is the kind of stuff I get down on. When I'm not playing board games, this is the stuff I love. So there we go. That's the deluxe foil edition that I can add to my D&D collection over there on my shelf. And then when I'm ready to actually run a campaign, we can check it out. So, and then we'll check out the board game. And maybe, if we have enough comments asking about it, maybe we'll do some additional content for Warriors of Krynn, the board game. So that's it. We're going to go and stop this video. Let me know what you guys thought of this random unboxing video of the deluxe version of the Dragonlance, Defy the Dragon Army, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Let me know what you guys thought. We don't need this box anymore, so we'll just throw that over there. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.